I fucking hate The Lion King. Bye! Okay, I don't hate The Lion King, but it was never one of my favourite movies as a kid. And I'm not talking about last year's remake. I in fact still love to watch the original, but that's the key phrase here. I love to watch it. That's different from saying that I think it's a good film. I could make a long video about my feelings on The Lion King, but I'm not here for the movie today. Although, I do love the hyenas. They are my favourite characters, and hyenas are just so darn cute. However, anytime I mention my opinion on this movie with my fellow 90s millennials, I'm always met with the same kind of response of, "Yeah, but did you see that Mufasa died?" Now my forte is music and video games, and I love The Lion King for its soundtrack, which I think is probably the best thing about the movie. I think it's a fantastic soundtrack. But I'm not here for the movie today. Oh no. My friends, there is a video game. Yes, The Lion King, the video game. I originally played it on Sega Megadrive. This was a childhood, favorite, you could say. I hate it. There is no getting around it. I fucking hate this game. And it's not because it's bad, far from it. In fact, the game is actually pretty darn good. But the problem is that video games are supposed to be fun, but The Lion King will just piss you off. About 5 years ago, I played this game to review it on what is now an old dead channel of mine. Back then when I made that video, I resigned myself to the fact that I'll just never beat it. But those old memories of frustration were recently brought back to light when I stumbled upon this. Why would you make this? You can play the Lion King video game on a Switch. You really just can't make this shit up, can you? Just imagine growing up in the 90s playing this game, and then 25 years later you get your kid to play and experience the same torture that you did. It's like, there you go son, welcome to the club. This game somehow managed to find its way onto pretty much every console known to man at the time, including the NES. Yes, the freaking Lion King on Nintendo Entertainment System. It's also worth noting that this was actually the last ever officially released game on the NES. What did you think it was, freaking Wario's Woods or that Sunday Funday because you heard it from some guy on the internet? No, the Lion King. So what's the deal here? Why will this game piss you off? Well my friends, this is one of the hardest platformers I have ever played. And I'm not joking about that. I think it's time that I deal some justice here and actually sit down and try to beat this game. It's been 20 years and I have never beaten it. Yeah, let's do this. So yeah, it goes without saying that I'm playing this on the recently released Disney Classics combo cartridge that also came with Aladdin because, you know, pretty much every Disney movie from the 90s got a video game at some point. You do get a few different versions to play. There is the Super Nintendo version, the Sega Mega Drive version, and also the Japanese version. I mean, why not? I guess you gotta tap into the Wii market somehow. I would recommend the SNES version because it has better quality music, and the button layout is better in my opinion, but today I'm playing the Sega Mega Drive version because that's what I grew up with. The game was developed with help from Disney and published by Virgin Interactive. You know, you really didn't have to remind me, guys. So we're here on the title screen, and here's what you do, okay? You go into the options menu and make sure that you select the easy mode. And I know, the game says easy, but trust me, it's not. Sure, it gives you more lives and continues, and some enemies take less hits, but it's only prolonging the inevitable flight that your controller will take as it goes hurling towards the nearest wall.
It starts.
I will never get over that. Timon is just like, hey! So this is the first stage, and the levels are based off scenes from the movie, and I guess you may have figured that one out already, but it needs to be said that this game is graphically very stylish and looks great, even on my HD television. You have got a few options on this newer version regarding screen size. You can of course have it in its original form, but you also get this border. I personally hate having shit like this on the outside of the display, so I have it stretched on this version. Yeah, I know, 16:9, fucking sue me, I don't give a shit, fuck you. You'll get through the first stage with no problem, and you'll think, okay, Buck Boy, this ain't so hard. Mufasa's there, he tells you about the light in the kingdom and all that BS, but stage 2, oh boy, let's get started. Okay, so this is where you start to see the real difficulty spike. There's the platforming, jumping across the giraffes, occasionally just falling through them. You have to swing across these hippo tails, and sometimes Simba just refuses to cling onto them, and again you fall in the water. There's also jumping on these logs, and you have to have enough momentum to make the jumps. And the monkeys! I hate the monkeys! The game has to specifically tell you to roar at monkeys. But that's all you get. I mean, great info, guys, and then they just leave you to it. It's like one giant puzzle trying to find the right combination of the way that these monkeys need to face in order to progress. And then, you gotta find them all. And sometimes you fall off because the platforming is fucked. And where's Nala? Where's Zazu? I mean, aren't they supposed to be here? Ah! And then, if you die, you gotta do it all over again. And the game only gives you a checkpoint every so often, so if you game over, then you gotta start the level right from the beginning, and it hurts, man. Seeing Simba just standing there at the beginning of the stage. This image right here. This is stuck in my memory forever. Let it be known that this image is the destroyer of hope and the pinnacle of misery. And I haven't even mentioned the auto-scrolling sections yet. It's bullshit. So here's the deal with the auto-scrollers here. It looks and sounds simple enough. Simba rides these ostriches and you gotta avoid the obstacles along the way. Simple stuff really, and the game gives you a warning on the first one as to when to jump, duck or whatever, but these double jumps, like, what killed me here? It's just trial and error with a big helping of pure luck as to whether or not you get past, and then there's two of them, and the first one isn't even halfway through the stage. I mean, come on! And do you want to know what the weird thing is here? This is only the second stage, and from here on the game actually starts to get a bit easier. There's the elephant graveyard, gotta fight a ton of these hyenas and jump up the walls, and look, there's Scar, how you doing, buddy? Stage 4 is the stampede scene, which is actually really easy, but the hit detection can make it very hard if it's your first playthrough. The perspective is all messed up. These wildebeests, they come out in these patterns, so once you do it enough times, you'll get the pattern down and it's a lot easier, but I can't deny that the trial and error aspect of this level, it is ridiculous, and it drove me nuts as a kid. And for whatever reason, even though they're not in the plot yet, Timon and Pumbaa appear for these bonus minigames between the stages, and I hate them. Then there's a level where you're riding down the waterfalls and Simba's all like, whoa! Jumping up this waterfall on the logs, that's more bullshit. And then you turn into adult Simba, and this, my friends, is where the game starts to get hard. And I mean, really hard. This was pretty much the furthest I got in the game the last time I played it 5 years ago, but I gotta be honest, there's a couple of things I should mention about the version that I'm playing. 1. The version that I'm playing, because it's basically emulating the game, comes with some emulator features. There is the aforementioned screening options, but there is also this rewind function. And let me tell you, this makes the game so much more forgiving. And yeah, you may call it cheating, but do you want to know something? I don't feel bad about it. In fact, it actually starts to make the game a bit more enjoyable. And 2, you could also do this on the original version, but I have the invincibility cheat enabled. Yeah, I know, but I wanted to see the end of the game, and I'm not freaking Mike Matei over here. This might be a good time to mention that the game actually comes with a level select option as well, so if you wanted to skip to a certain point of the game, you could do that with a code, and it still works on this newer version. You just gotta figure out the right buttons because they're all mapped differently. In fact, screw this stage, I'm gonna skip to the next one. So, I beat the level, and I'm ready to fight Scar. What the You've gotta be kidding me! It sends you back? Okay, so apparently you can't use the level select option very well because it sends you back to stage 2 once you finish a new stage. Of course it had to be stage 2. So you know what that means, don't you? Jumping across the giraffes, swinging on the hippos, platforming the logs, roaring at the monkeys, risk losing your sanity over the auto-scrolling, jumping up the waterfall. There's this one stage where Mufasa appears in the sky, but you gotta fight all these hyenas, which by the way weren't in the movie, I checked. This stage with all the lava drives me nuts because there is this one platform which you gotta chase, and when it goes under the thing, the hyenas stop you, and if you miss it, you have to jump for this one up which the devs put there because they knew you'd try again. This part right here, I didn't even know what I did, I just did stuff and stuff happened and the stage ended. I don't even know what I did, but okay. There's that one level with all the different entrances that take you to different places, and you know something? I hate levels like this, it just gives me a massive headache. And then there's of course the fight with Scar, which is surprisingly really easy. You just gotta hit him a bunch of times and then just throw him off the side of a cliff. Alright, I'm about to beat this game for the first time in 25 years. Wait. No! What?! There's a reset code on the controller? Oh wait, never mind, I can just rewind. Now isn't that a nice thing to have? So, you beat the game and Simba just sort of stands there. I guess just like the movie, right? Well, that, my friends, is the Lion King video game, and damn, is it hard. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to beat this if it wasn't for the emulator functionality, but you know what? I don't even care. I'm just happy that I got to see the end of the game after 25 years. And, the movie was better.